All right, we're up in the Jochum, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of a talk through on the routing of some of this lighting pathway. This is not teaching you how to use the light board, but the light board's going to be part of it. Here on the back, can you tip that down and try to see this? There's a DMX cable that comes out of this board. This signal is leaving here and going into our system. Right now, when this board is on, you have to unplug this and plug it back in again before it'll take over for the system. But that's the signal. If you had a different lighting board, it could send signal through there. That's the big one. It's got orange on it right now. Around the auditorium, there's a few stations for lights. This one right here is a 10-panel station, and it's possible to save presets into these lights. We'll talk about how to use those in another video, but there's also individual ones over here, and they have to get the information together. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you down underneath here and talk you through what some of this stuff is down below. And Elliot's going to come down with me. Okay. Now, back in the olden days, we would leave the DMX from the board and go into this one that says DMX in up top here. Yeah. Very good. So maybe that's not very helpful, huh? Okay, but now it doesn't do that. You'll see the orange comes down to here. And here is the basic signal flow and concept behind what's going on. The signal leaves the light board. It goes into this spot right here. Then it makes a journey around all those wall stations that are around this room. And it comes back. And it comes back out of this one right here, that green one. And you can see the green. It's going to continue over to this thing. This is a DMX decelerator. You don't have to know how this works. I don't really know how this works, but it does something to slow down the frequency so it can be used by some other stuff. From there, it goes to this red, and that red's plugged into this silver box down here. Elliot, I don't know if you can get around to the side here. You can just see that we've got a couple different things. All this is doing is taking one signal and splitting it into multiple signals. So from there, we got a cable that runs up. This green cable runs out of one of these ports and goes up to this thing right here. What is this? This is a wireless DMX transmitter. And that is sending signals up above to lights. Now, if you pop up here and we look at this mega batten, you see those colored lights up at the top? That's a receiver. So that's talking to this. There are many of those around the auditorium that are getting signals, and there's even some extra ones you can use to get signals. So it goes to there. There's another cable back here. Once we get to this splitter, this yellow one goes. And where does that yellow one go? It comes up to the DMX in, and now that runs down to the basement, and it controls all of the older style lights and gets DMX sent around the auditorium. So the pathway goes light board first. It comes down here to this one with the orange. That's its first stop. It has to go there first. It goes around the whole building and comes back out the green. That green goes into a decelerator. That comes into this red cable comes over here to a splitter. Then we actually have an extra one here, by the way. One of those goes to the wireless transmitter, and the other one goes into the port that runs down to the basement and feeds the rest of the room. It has to be set up like that. Otherwise, these wall stations, which can control all of the lights if they want to, won't work correctly. Okay, it's a little confusing, but if you ever need to deal with it. One more thing to know while you're down here. I don't know, when this was installed, they didn't give us a port or anything. Somebody brought along this power thing with individual switches. It can be easy to kick one of those off, and if you do that, something might not work. So if you're having problems with something, think about that right there.